Hey guys, what's up? In this tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do the mood cue lab together, and then there'll be some questions at the end of this, and this is the assignment of the week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of take you through some of the stuff we'll do, how it works. So the first thing we'll need to do is we need to gather some components. So we need a potentiometer, a servo motor, a motor arm, and that's going to be connected, 100 nanofarad capacitor, and some pins. So what I want you to do, so I want you to go ahead and open this here, and let's go ahead and get our parts. So we need an Arduino, obviously. Okay. We need a capacitor, polarized one. You'll notice there's a negative and positive, and this has to be 100 UF. 100 nanofarads, and the voltage rating is, I think it's 5 volts. Okay, we need a servo. Oops. Okay, we need a micro servo and a potentiometer. Alrighty. So now that we have all our parts, let's go ahead and build the circuit. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I'm just going to drag this over so you can see, is we're going to go ahead and hook all this stuff up, and I'll sort of explain how it all works. So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and rotate our board a little bit. Let's just grab it and click this rotate button to rotate it. Let's see here. Okay. And let's put this here. Let's rotate this as well. Nope, don't want to do that. All right. And we need a breadboard. And we'll rotate this. Okay. So hopefully you guys can sort of see what I'm doing here. That was a mistake. First thing we're going to do is we are going to take the 5 volt of our Arduino and run it over. Now you could, get all fancy. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do this, okay? Then we're going to take our ground, run over to ground, so that's all good and well. Then what we're going to do is our servo, we're going to hook up right here. So our servo has a signal, a power, and a ground. So the power, we're going to go ahead and hook to here. Let me see if I could sort of, hold on. Let's just do that. Okay, the ground. It's going to go to here. And if you're looking at the diagram, you'll notice that the ground goes to the ground. So let's go ahead and do that. And then just make sure that's that. You can go right here. That's the wrong one. This one's the middle one's the power. All servos are a little bit different on the way they're wired. Some are different colors, so you just have to Google it. All right. Okay, so far so good. All right. And now we need to put a capacitor in. We actually need 2 capacitors. I just hit Control C, Control V there, and I copied and pasted. I'm going to rotate it. Okay. The negative goes to ground, and the positive goes to positive, obviously. So let's go ahead and put this back here. It's getting a little hard to see. All right, we got to move some wires around. And so you could sort of see what I'm doing. So this will go to here. Let me just redo this one. This isn't ideal, but it's okay. All right. Negative, positive. And then we have to take this one. Oops. And run this to ground. This one right here. Okay, so we have that set up. Then we have the third one, which is the signal. Let's just do this so we can see what we did here. It's important to have, so we can see what you're doing. Okay, so we see that signal. That's ground. That's power. The signal, we are going to run. You generally don't want to cross wires. That looks really bad. So let's just do this. Okay. And this signal is going to run to 9. Okay. There we go. That's wired. All right. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put our pot on. Here's our pot. Let's go ahead and rotate it. And we're going to throw this one kind of up here. And what we're going to do here is the following. We're going to throw a capacitor in on the first and third. So here's our capacitor. Let's rotate it. So you see them the first and third. I think we have to actually rotate it this way so it's lined up. Okay. All right, this is just a little weird to look at, but whatever. We'll have to deal. All right. Okay, and what will happen is this is the negative. So this one's going to go to ground. This is the positive. And then the middle one is right here. And that's going to go ahead and go over to A0. There you go. Okay, so if I move this away real quick, you'll see how that works. Okay, and we're just putting the capacitor in here to even out the flow. What this will do is this is a decoupler. It's called. It just evens out the flow of the voltage. Sometimes when the servo runs, it'll send some voltage back into the Arduino, and you want to have something there to decouple it. All right, so that's that. I think we're all good here. Okay, good. All right, so let's I'll show you this, and we can compare. This is how I like to do it. So I split screen it. Okay, zoom out. And then I just make sure I have everything sort of how it should go. So we have the signal. The white's the signal. For us, it's the middle. So the signal is actually this one. Oops. So the signal is going over to 9. Let's check. The signal, how do I know it's a signal? Well, that's the one going to the Arduino. The power is going to the power. The ground is going to the ground. And then we have a decoupler right here, a decoupler capacitor, and the part with the stripe. So obviously you have to line up the negative with the negative and the positive with the positive. That's negative, that's positive. If you have a real capacitor, it'll have a stripe on it, and the one with the stripe is the right way. And we have this one, and you'll see that's the negative with the negative, the positive with the positive. And these aren't polarized. The what do you call it? The potentiometers aren't polarized, so it doesn't matter. Okay, and we have our 5 volt. Oops. We have our power, our 5 volt, yes. Our ground, it's hooked up. I know that I've done this mistake where I accidentally didn't hook anything up. Okay, so this is the circuit. We're good. So I'm going to stop the video right here. And then in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and code the whole thing. So video 1 is going to be the build, which we did, and video 2 will be the code. Okay? Just know if you don't put these capacitors in, you'll get some variance in your voltage, and it could potentially burn out the Arduino, or it could burn out your servo, and you don't want to do either because the Arduino is like 20 bucks and the servo is $5, so you don't want to burn through them because that could add up quickly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video now. Next video, we'll go ahead and code everything.